why do so many Turkish people believe secret clauses in the 1923 Lausanne Treaty will be unveiled this year? Commonly regarded as the birth certificate of modern Turkey, the 1923 Treaty of Lausanne was the last of the peace settlements signed at the end of the First World War. This is on the conversation by Ozan Ozavsi, assistant professor, Utrecht University. So this year's centenary has already provoked far more public anticipation than one might expect, thanks to widespread belief in conspiracy theories. Lausanne provided the foundation for the new Republic of Turkey, with Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who was born in Salonika of Greece, as its first president, largely drawing its modern borders. According to recent surveys, just under half of Turkish people and around 43% of graduates believe that the 1923 treaty will expire this year and that its alleged secret articles will finally be unveiled. For believers in this counterfactual version of events, the expiration of the treaty will unshackle Turkey from Western control. After being barred by Lausanne's secret articles for a century, the country will finally be able to tap its rich oil and boron resources. Released from its straitjacket, Turkey will become a superpower again, as it was during the heyday of the Ottoman Empire. This is what they believe. Of course, none of these claims has any foundation in historical fact, but where do they come from? And more importantly, what drives so many people to believe in them? Studies indicate that conspiracy theories result from predictable psychological factors. These include the motivation to bolster a strong group identity and the desire to secure one's group from another group made up of people who are considered to be hostile. The origins of the fictitious Lausanne conspiracy theories confirm this. As historian Gökhan Setinsaya notes, one can trace Lausanne conspiracy theories back to the anti-Semitic and nationalist Islamist writings of figures such as Sevat Rifat Attilhan, a renowned pro-Nazi author and politician, and Necip Fazıl Kisi Kurek, poet and inspiration of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, which is today's president in Turkey. In the 1950s, Attilhan and Kisa Kurek argued that the Lausanne Treaty was a Jewish plot, masterminded by Chief Rabbi Haim Nahum, a consultant of the Turkish delegation at Lausanne. Their conspiracy theory set out how in 1923 treaty, the treaty represented a major defeat for Turkey, not only for the territorial and economic losses it inflicted through its known and secret clauses, by paving the way for the abolition of the caliphate in March 1924. It also weakened Turkey's society morally, upending the unity and consciousness of Islam. Why conspiracy theories take hold? But Lausanne conspiracy theories are not merely the product of indifference to historical realities or even the way history is taught in Turkish schools, where a dominant narrative hampers critical thinking. There are also structural factors at play. Social psychology teaches us that conspiracy theories gain traction in times of social crises, something that Turkey hardly lacks. It's not so much the dire economic and political conditions to which the country is currently being subjected. It's rather a long-term syndrome and has suffered over the past few centuries. A syndrome that has left Turkey, and before it the Ottoman Empire, dangerously prone to even the most outlandish conspiracy theories. Especially after Russia invaded Crimea, then part of the Ottoman Empire, and annexed the territory outright, and a decade later, in the 1780s, a syndromic era unfolded in Turkish history. It became evident that the Ottoman Empire could no longer match the military and technological power of its Romanov rivals of Russia, nor that of the other major European powers. This relative weakness spawned what would eventually be termed the Eastern Question. Should this semi-civilized Oriental Empire be partitioned or left intact, should the European powers fight over its spoils or negotiate some settlement to share them out among themselves. From an Ottoman perspective, the Eastern question indicated a continual paradox. The existence of their empire depended on the support of the same European powers, which posed the greatest threat to its territorial integrity. To give a concrete example, in the early 1790s, Sultan Selim III looked to thwart the Russian threat by recapturing Crimea with the support of France. However, and to his frustration, the decade ended with the French invasion of Ottoman Egypt and an unexpected alliance among Russia, Britain, and the Sultan. But then, soon after, the Anglo-Ottoman armies pushed the French out of Egypt in 1801, the Sultan had to turn to the support of Napoleon Bonaparte to end the British occupation of Alexandria, Egypt. Throughout the century that followed, intelligence poured into Istanbul, Turkey, about the plans, many of them, of one or another European power, usually Russia or France or both, to partition the Sultan's empire. This was partly why, in 1821, when the Greek Revolution for independence from the Ottoman Empire, Ottoman authorities blindly and mistakenly believed that it was part of a broader Russian plot to invade Istanbul. They never fathomed liberal nationalist Greek aspirations, nor those of the Lebanese a few decades later, nor those of the Armenians from 1860s, among others. The Ottomans violently suppressed subaltern aspirations, subduing them as foreign machinations in their imperial gaze, much as Republican Turkey does with the Kurds today. The history of secret clauses. Inclusion of secret clauses in Ottoman European agreements was not an uncommon practice in this troubled history. Conspiracy theories have become a defining feature of Turkish political culture. The 1920 Treaty of Sèvres realized the worst fears for the Turks, leaving them with a rump state in Anatolia, but Lausanne turned things around, gaining Turkey some of its lost territories. Even since then, secular nationalists or the Kemalists, followers of former President Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, have considered the treaty a great victory, while the Islamists portrayed it in diametrically opposite terms, often drawing on fictitious conspiracy theories to bolster their case. Within Turkey, Kemalists and Islamists nonetheless hold a shared belief that a great conspiracy against the Turkish nation has been in preparation by the foreign powers, a quote from Atatürk that current President Erdogan often repeats. A century after Lausanne put it to rest, the Eastern question may seem ancient history, but the ghosts of the syndrome it once prompted and the fictitious conspiracy theories it left behind continued to haunt 21st century Turkey. This is On the Conversation by Ozan Azafksi, Assistant Professor, Utrecht University. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.